Okay, so now for order details page, let's create a new page. In our pages folder, add treasure component, order details page. Okay, and here we are going to have at the rate page, and then let's say orders slash order id like this, and this order id is going to be int. We need to get it from the URL, so here we'll say int order id. These names should match. This is going to be a parameter. Okay, now here override on initialized async, we need to get the order information and our what we call it, the order items. Okay, so for this we are going to have private underscore, private order dto order, and we are going to have order item dto, array of order item dto order items. Here default value as blank, here default value as null, so let's have it nullable only. Now in on initialized we are going to get the order information and order items. Now if we check on previous page, we have order information, so we can somehow pass the entire order information to this thing. Now because this is a normal navigation, we cannot have that. The only way we can maybe have some other static or singleton service. We can set the order information on this orders page, then when we are on order details page we can grab that order information. That is what we can do. So it's up to us if we are reusing this information, or if we want to fetch the latest information, then here we can simply maybe make the API call and we can get the information. Okay, so here what we'll have app state. We are going to have our auth state as well, auth state. Then we are going to have our inject order API, not user API, I order API, and we need navigation manager. We'll see. I don't know if we will need this navigation manager, and we are good. Okay. Now navigation manager, we need to name it just navigation manager only. Now this page, this is going to be an internal page, that means no tab bar. So here we are going to define layout, stacked page layout, the same way we have done on the manage addresses page. Okay, cool. Now inside on initialized, we'll say app state dot show loader. Then we are going to have try finally here. And finally we'll say app state dot hide loader. Now in this show loader here, we need to get orders that we can get from order. We'll say await order API dot get user order items async. These are order items, right? API result, order ID and result ID. Hmm. Let's do this. Let's enhance this method to get order information as well. It will not just return order item DTO, it will actually return order DTO. And in order DTO, let's have order items as well. So we'll do this order item DTO. We'll say these items with a blank array. Do this. Okay. In that case, let's quickly start modifying all these things. First thing, we'll modify the API endpoint here. So this should be order DTO. Then let's go to the endpoint in our API. API endpoints, order endpoint here, get user order items. So this is now going to return order DTO. Okay. Now let's go to this method in our service. This is now going to return order DTO. Order DTO. Now let's open this and we'll change this to order DTO. Order DTO. Here we have these items. Order DTO. Now here we'll say order DTO equals new order DTO, and we are going to start adding values here. So we'll say address equals order dot address, then address name, date, ID, items, remark, status, total amount, and total items. All these information. Then we'll simply return this order DTO from like this. Save everything and we are good. Alright. Now let's go to our order details page. Here we'll have order information. So this order DTO now has order items, so we can get rid of this thing here. Alright. It is going to return us API result. So let's call it just API result. API result. Then we'll quickly check if API result dot is success. Is success. What is the problem here? It is API result of order DTO. Yes. API result dot is success. If this is not true, then we'll say await MAUI interrupt dot alert async. We'll say API result dot error. Okay, and the title would be error. And we can return from here. Or maybe after this, we can simply go back to the previous page, the orders page. So here we can say navigation manager dot navigate to. We'll say slash orders and we'll have replaced true because this is maybe an invalid URL, this current one. So we don't need to come back to this page. Okay, then we'll simply return. And if that's not the case, that means we have order items. So we'll say underscore order equals, here we can say API result dot data. Okay, now we will have the order information. Here for the markup, we'll simply check if underscore order is not null, then only we'll render our markup. And here what I am going to do, I'm going to have maybe two tab kind of structure. So first we'll have order info and then second we'll have order items. So two tab kind of things. So I'm going to have a div class container pg app. PG app primary. Okay. And inside this, we are going to have a div class row. And then I'm going to have div class call and call. So two columns, equal width of column. And then we are going to have mm, so this right now I'm just trying to create a tab like structure. Okay. So on both of these we can maybe have p text center. First we'll have this text center, text center, and then we are going to have py2 or maybe pt2, padding top 2, padding bottom not going to have anything because we will maybe have a border on the bottom to display the selected tab, something like this. So first one we are going to have say order info. We can maybe have it in span, something like this, order info. And then second span we are going to have order items. Okay. And what is the problem? Why this is complaining? No reason. It just complains without any reason. We have div, everything is fine. Save. Now let's do this here. What we'll do, we'll simply have a small piece of state private underscore private string underscore selected tab. Okay. Here we'll have info. So let's have two tabs here. We'll say private const string uh, info tab. Name could be anything. So we'll say info. And one more const string. Here we'll say items tab. We'll provide this items name to this. Alright. Move this to the top. We are here. By default, the selected tab is going to be this info tab. Okay. And then here we will have one class on these things order. So here we'll say if the let's have helper properties as well. Private pool is info tab, something like this. So here we can say if simply selected tab equals info tab. Okay. So here we'll say is info tab. If this is the info tab, we'll say let's say active. If that's not the case, simply empty. And on the second one, we'll do the opposite. If this is not info tab, then we'll say active, else we'll not have anything. Okay. Now these are going to have tab item. So let's add this tab class here. Just tab. Save it and we'll see. Now let's have on click handlers on these. So we are going to say private void, or let's say void is fine, private void select tab, and here we'll say string tab name, something like this. Okay. Then here we'll say underscore selected tab equals this tab name, and on click of these things we'll say at the rate on click we'll provide select tab, and we'll provide info tab as a parameter from here, from the first one, and from the second tab we'll provide the items tab. Save it. Let's try to run it to see if we can get this working. And before that, let's cancel. We need to come to this page from the previous page, right? When we are on orders page, if we click on any of these items or on this view info button, we want to go to the order info page. So here we'll say at the rate on click equals, we'll say navigation manager, or maybe let's create a method here. We'll say private void go to order details. Here we'll say int order ID. Then here we'll say navigation manager dot navigate to this URL where order ID is going to be dynamic. This. Okay, and then we can simply call this go to order detail from both of these. So here we'll say go to order details and just provide o dot id. Same thing, we are going to copy and we are going to have this on this entire li like this. Save it. Let's run. And we have some errors here. Update type requires this. If order is not null, I don't know. Let's close the Visual Studio and open it again. I'm I'm going to close Visual Studio, open it again, select the dev tunnel, run API, and then I'll run the mobile app. So we are here. I reopened this, and now we have the actual error. Let's fix these. So get user order items async, order ID and user ID. Okay. So we have order ID here, and then for user ID we can get it from our auth state dot user dot ID. Save it. Alright, let's try to run it now. Okay, we are here. Let's try to go to orders, view info, order not found, something is not right. 4, order not found. We are passing order ID as first parameter. Okay, order ID as first parameter. Let's go to the API. Let's see what we have there. Order endpoint. We are getting order ID here, user ID here. So user ID, order ID. In this get user ordered, first is order ID, second is user ID. Order ID and second is user ID. Save, stop. We need to run API again because we made change in our API. Right click, debug, start without debugging. Let it start, then I'll start the mobile app. Okay, orders, view info. We can see this order info, order items. Right now nothing is happening, but we can see back 2 items. Okay, so we are able to move to this page. Now we need to have the header and then we need to have something for this thing, these tabs. Okay, so let's try our browser console, inspect. Here we'll try to design these tabs. We have this. First one is active. We click on second one is active. That means active thing is working. So on these, let's say text center, we'll say FW bold, text white. Okay. And then let's maybe increase the font size. For that we can maybe use H3 or H4 is also very big. H5. Let's remove FW bold. And then let's make it H6. I think H6 is fine. Or H5. Let's settle with H5. Okay, the same thing we are going to add on the second one. Right now, when the tab is active, let's say if I tap on any one, second one or first one, oh my god, all those classes got moved. What all we added? Yeah, we added all these. Let's first copy these classes. Go to the order details page. We have these tabs. Paste all these classes and paste all these classes. Save. Then for order, the active status, we can have maybe change this background color of this, or maybe can have a border underneath this. On this one, let's have border bottom. This does not look good. So maybe let's change the background color. Right now it is BGF primary from the top. Here, what if we say something like BGF dark? We have this thing, right? BGF dark, or maybe BGF light or lighter. No, lighter. We have this lighter class, right? We can maybe use this one as an indicator. Now, we have some margin here. If we see, is it coming from here? Say MB0. Yes. So this is the selected tab. And if we click on the second one, we'll have it here. PT2. So instead of PT, let's maybe make PY2. Now we are good. So this is selected tab. We can click on it. It will be selected. Let's add this thing. Text center. Now this BG app lighter. This is going to be for active. In that case, what we can do, we can simply get rid of this active class. We don't need active class. Instead of active, we'll say BG app lighter. This one. Okay. And then let's have the same styling on the second tab. Save it. Okay. Now after this div, we are going to have one more div. Div class container mt3 margin top 3. Okay. And here we are going to have sections for these two tabs. Okay. First we are going to have div class row. Then we are going to have div class called 12. And then whatever we will have here. So here we'll say if is info tab, else this. So if this is info tab, we'll display the order information. For this, we can simply have a simple table, nothing else. Table class table with without any t head. We will just have t body. Inside this, we are going to have rows with only two columns. First column, let's have with th. We can have with this th, say order number, or we can say order id. And the second one, where we are going to put the value, there we'll say @ order dot id. Okay. Now let's copy this thing, this tr. Let's keep on adding the items like this. Tr, complete tr. After order id, we have status, right? Order status. Then we have date, order date, order date. Here we can have same two strings. So dot to string ddmmm yyyyyhhmmt, or whatever format you want to have. It's up to you. Okay. And what was the total amount paid? So total amount, you can have order dot total amount. dot to string with currency conversion. After that, we are going to have total items. Total items. Here we can say total items, these items. And then we can also display the address information, which was the delivery address for this. So let's say address. Here we will simply have a complex markup. We'll first say label, where we are going to display the address name. So we'll say o underscore order dot address name. Okay. And after this, we are going to have one more label with class d block, display block, so that it goes to the next line. Here we are going to have underscore order dot address. Save it. I guess we are good. That's all what we need. On this table, we can maybe have PG white as well, or maybe on the parent itself. This div class called 12. Here only we have BG white. Save it, and we should be good. Now, if this is not the this tab, then we have this else case. In else, we need to show our list of all the items which were part of this order. Okay. Here we can simply have ul plus list unstyled unstyled. Okay. And here we can have a for each var item in underscore order dot items. We'll have li with classes for, let's say, mb3 p3. Then we are simply going to display the order item. So here we can maybe have our something similar to what we have on cart page. If you go to cart page, we have this thing, right? This h stack, but we don't need h stack here. Or maybe, yeah, here we had this image, right? So we'll use image. Okay, let's do this. Here I'm going to simply have a div plus, we'll have a small product image, product name, and then quantity and price and total amount. A lot of things actually. Okay, let's do this. Div class deflex gap 3. First item, we are going to have img src equals at the rate item dot product image url. Alt we can have if we want to. The style will simply have a very small height and width. Maybe we have one class, a square class, right? Let's use this. The square class, we'll see. After this, we are simply going to have a div class again. This time, we'll say inside this, we will have a label with classes. First, we'll have text app primary, okay, fw bold. We are going to have product name here. We'll say item dot product name. Product name. Product name. All right. Then we are going to have one more label, or we can have a div as well, class. And here we'll say display flex justify content between and align items center. First, we are going to have the quantity times quantity, then cross, then price, things like that. So here we are going to have a label where we'll simply say item dot quantity, then x, that means times, at the rate item dot price slash at the rate item dot unit. Okay, then we are going to have one more label on the right side where we will display at the rate item dot amount. Why we are not get able to get amount? Because we don't have that amount in our order item DTO column. So we'll say order DTO, order item DTO. Here we don't have amount, so let's quickly add that amount. Prop decimal amount. This is going to be a computed property. Quantity times price, product price. Okay, let's use this here. Item dot amount dot toString, and we'll use convert it to currency. Now what happens here? What happened? What is this? Item dot unit, enclose tag and tag, and it again just broke. Everything is fine. This is just this false error. Okay, and on that li we have mb3, we have p3. Here also we can maybe have border bottom. On using this display flex, we can have the align item center. Align items center. Now we can just restart our app. Let's see how it looks. We have our app here, and this it still shows this thing. Let's go to orders. That thing should go to the center. If we quickly check our orders page, we have this called 10 and we have this thing. So called 10. Here we can say mx auto so that it moves to center. Now we'll see. Then view info. We are on here. Order info. We can see this information. If you go to order items, we can see order item. Cool. It is looking fine now. But this section should go to the very right. Order info, order items looks fine. Back. View products. Let's have this as 15 items. Okay, 15 items. Address my office, this office address, all this information, order items. We can see all these order items. Cool. This is fine. But on the order details, this spacing is a lot. We have this MB3 and P3, right? So maybe we can get rid of MB3. Let just have P3, thing else. Then order this last thing. This should go to the end. Justify content between. Yeah, this is fine. Then why this is not going to the right? Item dot amount for kg. This should go to the right, and it is not going to the right because of this div. This div should have the entire width. Okay, or maybe on this div we can simply say display flex column gap 1, then let's maybe save it. Let's see if it goes takes entire width. If not, then we'll simply add the width 100% on it. And let's add one more thing. So let me cancel this build. The title bar, that is empty for this page, right? So here what we can do, we can say section content, section name, that was page title, right? Page title. Here we can say order hash and then order number. So underscore order dot id. If that's not the case, in the default when it is loading, So we can add else case here, and here we'll say order details. Save. Let's start. Okay, let's go to orders. It was in center. And let's open these 15 items order. We can see in the header order number 4, right? In order details in order number 4, we can see this main information. And if we tap order items, we can see all these order items. And this right section is still not going. Let's quickly open our browser, inspect, select any of these, display flex. Here we can simply say W100. Why it is not going? Am I missing something? Justify content center. Sorry, justify content between align item center. This is display flex. Oh, because this top section, this display flex, this is not taking up the entire space. That's the problem. Right? We need to have flex grow 1 on this thing. Then it will be like this. Okay, let's add this flex grow 1. After image, we'll have this flex grow 1. After image, on this one, we are going to have flex grow 1 from the parent, and this deflex, this is for internal. Save everything and let's restart. Okay, app is here. Let's quickly check it for the last time. We have orders, order info. We can see the details, order items, and now we can see this. Alright, we can see list of items in this order. We have order info. Go back. Alright, order 1, view info. We can see this. So with this, we are good with the order details as well. So I guess we are almost done. We have worked on all these pages, right? Next, let's try this help page.